Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
Welcome to Remote Reality. This is Lauren. Hey, Channel Surfers. I hope you're having a great Monday. It's been a very busy Monday at work. I've had my own law practice for over 16 years now, and Dee is my paralegal, so she's holding down the office while I recap Sisterwives one-on-one part 3 with the Channel Surfers. This episode starts out with tension. Is it good tension? Not really. It's tension over the property division of Coyote Pass. I swear at this family, all they do is argue about dividing up property. Where are we going to move? Are we going to buy or rent? We have watched that for 19 seasons. And here we are, season 19 one-on-ones, talking about the tension over property again. So what's caused this tension? Well, the way that the property was deeded, the owners of the property, doesn't really look very fair, especially once Meri sees that chart. One property owned by Janelle and Kody, one property owned by Kody and Robyn, one property owned by Kody, Robyn, and another property owned by Kody, Janelle, and Meri. What do all 4 of these properties have in common? They all have Kody on the deed. Why was it done this way? Well, Meri doesn't really have an answer for that. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But I don't know why they didn't figure this out when they bought the property, before they started investing all of this money into these assets. Figure out what your legal rights are before you put all of that money in. Make sure that's protected. It may have cost some money to consult with an attorney beforehand, but you would have had it fixed, and it cost a lot less than fighting over it later. Kody says he doesn't legally need Janelle or Meri's permission to sell the property. Legally, he doesn't. Okay, so we believe that Kody is just getting the permission from Janelle and Meri out of the goodness of his heart because he just enjoys talking to them so much and working it out with them. No, it's because you can't sell somebody else's property. Meri owns 1/3 of that property. Kody cannot sell her ownership in that property. Janelle owns half of one of your properties and 1/3 of another one. Kody, unless you have power of attorney, you can't just go and sell the property. You legally need their permission, or you need a judge to say, we're going to sell it because one of the joint owners came to us and said, let's split it up and sell it. You wouldn't need their permission that way if you could get a judge to order it in a partition. No, Kody, sorry, you do need their permission legally. Meri has no idea why the property is divided up this way. And when she's asked before, like she asked Kody and Robyn about this in Vegas, she got in trouble. Now, she doesn't say what getting in trouble means. Does it mean that you give all of your money to the family account and then Robyn buys baby dolls with it? We don't know. Does it mean that you were gifted a junk journal, or they're just being mean to you and ignoring you, which Kody and Robyn have done for years at this point? Whatever it was not good. And Meri didn't get an answer. Janelle also tried to talk to Kody about why the property was divided this way, and all she got was anger. And why are you worried about it? Answering a question with a question. This man is Teflon King. He is dodging responsibility on this. He doesn't want to talk about it because he knows there's nothing fair to say here. There's not good intent. No wonder they don't trust each other at this point. It's unbelievable. So why can't Janelle trust Kody with the finances? Well, apparently he comes out ahead somehow financially. I don't know, that $1 million house with Robyn, while over there yonder on Coyote Pass, Janelle is looking up from her RV that doesn't even have plumbing. Somehow financially, this man is coming ahead. Yeah. Christine goes on to say, well, Kody, he bought a bunch of assets. He was always just buying all this stuff, we've seen. Kody always feels like he's entitled to more. Now, this might be a cultural thing. I'm not somebody that grew up in polygamy or in a patriarchal household, but I would imagine in polygamy, husband is the center of the house. He is what everybody has in common. So Kody might be used to people just respecting him and trusting him to provide for them without being questioned. And that's why he's getting angry. He is being questioned about his status as the center of this family. He's supposed to be the one in charge, and he doesn't like that he's being called out. That's one guess on it. Another one is that what he's just doing is so inherently unfair, and he knows he's going to look like a jerk on TV. So let me just get mad about it and try to dodge responsibility. Kody always looks out for Kody and Robyn financially. Now, Christine's Chiron here, it says Christine ex-polygamist. I like that. They are making it clear that she and David will not be taking any sister wives. Kody gonna play fair when it comes to splitting up these properties? Well, Christine doesn't think so. In the past, they never really knew where the money was going. And Janelle, who did the bookkeeping, she had an eye on it. She knew what was happening. Janelle's staying tight-lipped, but maybe the wine got to her a little bit because she does tell Christine, Robyn and Kody are draining money out of the account, like way more than what you're getting out of the account. Kody is going to explain to all of us why this is fair or what's going on here. Good. Somebody can explain it. Kody, what's going on here? Since Meri and Janelle left him, they want alimony. This is all about them wanting alimony. That's all. That's all it is. Selling jointly owned property that you own with someone else, and them getting their portion of their ownership out of it, that is not the same as alimony, Kody. That property is as much theirs as it is yours if their money went into it and you are all contributing to this. Alimony, it's the continuation of a legal obligation that you have in the marriage to provide for your spouse, which I don't know that you are providing that much for your spouses. Then Kody acknowledges a disparity. Wow. So he's going to admit that there's a disparity here? No, not what I was thinking. He is just admitting that it's not fair to Robyn. Whoa. What? I'm sorry. Explain. How is this not fair to Robyn? Well, the first corporate paycheck, Robyn didn't get anything out of it. Did anyone get anything out of the very first corporate paycheck? For the last 19 seasons, has Robyn gotten something out of the corporate paycheck since then? Just the first one? Is that because you guys had legal fees and setting up an LLC? So that went out to reimburse for the cost of getting everything aligned and no one got paid out of it? All he says is Robyn didn't get paid out of the first one in 19 seasons, which also would probably be one of the smallest ones because they made more money as the seasons went on. Then Kody says when they bought their houses, Robyn's kickback from the house went to other family members. I'm not sure what he's talking about here. Is he talking about the houses in Vegas? They didn't all buy houses when they went to Flagstaff. Her kickback from which house? Are we talking about the first house that you sold when you married her, that you were living in with your other 3 wives, that she didn't get something out of that? And it's just very general. She didn't receive a kickback when we bought our houses. The kickback from the house went to other family members. Okay, like Solomon and Ariella? What other family members? Like the children? It went to support the children. It didn't go into assets for them. We don't see them driving new cars or living in $1 million houses or buying $60,000 allegedly worth of dolls on Etsy or buying tons of artwork. So what do you mean her money when you bought the houses went to other family members? Let's look at the big picture. Okay, great. Maybe we're going to get an explanation. They were all working together. They were all in it together as a family. They had this partnership. And now that the older kids are done with school, they all had worked together to buy those kids cars, to help them, to pay them, stuff like that. That's Kody's explanation: to buy their cars, to help them, to pay them, and stuff like that. We all work together to do it. And now that these kids are older and they're done with school, nobody's helping with the younger children. All right. Well, Kody, what does the nanny do? Would you take their help? Nobody's helping with what? With the younger children. Solomon and Ariella can't drive a car yet, but they do have those ATVs you bought them for Christmas. So what are we talking about here? I think somebody's just mad that they left and the money's walking away. After you did all of this stuff and treated them unfairly, then they pulled out of the family and pulled their paychecks away from the family. Also, Robyn wasn't in the family helping support the kids at all for the first at least decade of this marriage. I'm not seeing how this is unfair to Robyn. She didn't get part of the first corporate paycheck. Ariella and Solomon have dirt bikes, but they don't have cars yet. And they used money to help the other kids to pay them. To pay them what? Like money for being on the show, for the work that they did? Did you pay them for that? What we know, though, is the other wives weren't using this money to stockpile assets. Kody and Robyn were. Bookkeeper comes through. She says, I've looked at these records. I've gone through these bank statements. I've examined them. And I do promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Nobody is left holding the bag here. She knows where the money went. At first, it would be, whose debt should we pay off? Whose needs need to be met? And if it was something that they didn't need to agree on, Kody would kind of have the leverage to determine where that money went. So they did all work together. But she says she's seen it. At the end of the day, nobody is left holding the bag. Does she mean Kody and Robyn aren't getting taken for? Or is she saying that the whole family has contributed equally? It's all a wash. Not real sure. Because I feel like from what we've seen, Janelle, you were definitely holding that bag when you were living in an RV that didn't have running water. I was surprised to hear that years ago, Meri sat down with her accountant to shut Kody and Robyn up. Suki asks Meri, are there examples that you have where you are putting in the same thing to the family fund as everyone else and you are getting less? And Meri said, yeah, I paid for Leon's college. I've got proof it came out of my account and not the family account. Meri also had one child. If she was putting in equally, she was contributing to the support of all of the children, the family. Let's ask Kody. Meri said she helped with the children. Well, they all helped with the children, all of them. How is this a disparity toward Robyn because everybody did the same thing? And Suki says, well, she paid for Leon's college. Kody said we helped her with her mortgage. And if it's at all possible, Kody starts making even less sense. He says that, you know, we have these sacred cows, things we don't talk about. We don't talk about sex. We don't talk about money. But now I guess sex and money are on the table. What funhouse did I just walk into where there's sex and money on the table? What the heck is he talking about? He just doesn't want to answer the question because he knows it is so blatantly unfair. But now sex and money are on the table. What are you and Robyn doing now that everybody's gone, Kody? When are we talking about the sex and money on the table? Meri, that sweet summer child, she is so confused. She doesn't know who to trust or believe. Kody and Robyn say, hey, Janelle's in charge of the finances. And then Janelle says, no, it's Kody and Robyn. I don't know. Why don't you just take a look at those books? Look at the records. See where the money's going. Unless they're taking cash out and spending the cash, in which case you would see large withdrawals of cash out of bank accounts. Most transactions are going to be traceable in one way or the other. You're going to see where they charged something on a credit card. You're going to see where they paid for something with their debit card. You're going to see where that Apple Pay transaction was approved. Or you're going to see where they took $100,000 out, around what time it was, what did they get during that time. You're going to see large withdrawals of cash. Just take a look at the numbers. Get a forensic accountant in there. You don't have to trust either of them. Let the bank statements do the talking. Kody babbles on about the debts and the finances and how Janelle just created this big mess. What debts are we talking about? Are we talking about the mortgage on Coyote Pass, where Janelle was living either like a college student or worse off than a college student to try to make sure that that land was paid off? Has somebody charged up credit card debt? Are you guys living above your means and this is debt that is being used for medical expenses? If I remember correctly, Isabel's surgery was paid for by Christine, not the family. So what are we talking about as far as these debt? And we're blaming Janelle for it. So does Janelle have a lot of debt? I don't think that Janelle is the one that has the problems with the debt. One of the things she prides herself in is her fiscal responsibility, that she is financially savvy. And Kody just wants to attack that. He just wants to drag her down in the thing that she takes pride in. Same with Christine. Christine wanted to feel attractive, and well, Kody attacks her for eating nachos, or saying he never loved her and felt attracted to her, or withholding affection, which led to the end of their marriage. He's getting on where it hurts. I mean, this guy is a real piece of work. Well, are they getting him where it hurt? The nuts? No. The fact that your wives are all leaving you because you're a failure? Is that why you're attacking them where it hurts? Because your ego is so destroyed over the fact that you couldn't handle it? Which, to be fair, I don't think I could handle 4 spouses. I wouldn't want to try. One is enough to handle, but maybe that's what's going on. His ego is just so bruised right now that he's feeling like he has to go after them where it hurts. Kody's in love with Kody. Not everybody else is. Robyn thinks that there's a recency bias, that what they are saying is just based on the circumstances. What we've seen, though, is Janelle saying, you know, Kody's a good dad up until the point where she didn't feel that anymore. We saw them giving him credit until he no longer deserved that credit. So the recency bias that these women have towards Kody is because, yeah, when your actions change, their attitudes are going to change toward you. Is that a bias? Or is that just how it works? You used to be an okay husband, but now you're an asshole and I don't like you anymore. That's not really a recency bias. Robyn, she feels like she needs to blame everybody, well, except for herself, for this recency bias. You know, it's Janelle's fault. It's Christine's fault. It's Kody's fault. She doesn't take any blame in it. And maybe that's because she really just wants to say it's Kody's fault, but she knows if she says that, then she's doing the same thing that the other wives have done to him. So she just says they are doing this, just like the royal they. Apparently Robyn's the only one not talking smack about the other family members. I don't know if I believe that. Although she's not really even talking to them. She called Meri, 2 years ago was the last time she called her. So I guess if you don't talk to them, you don't necessarily have any shit to talk because you don't know what's going on with them. Janelle just tells it like it is. Kody is a narcissist and he is using this cycle of abuse on us. I learned about this when I was in college. 20 years ago. I was a women's studies cognate and I took psychology of women, and we learned about the cycle of abuse. And you love bomb, you make the person feel really special, and then tension starts to build up, and then you have this argument, and then you try to make up for it because you do feel bad about what just happened, but you don't know how to avoid that conflict. You don't know how to have a healthy relationship with people. You've got deep hurt and distrust and issues that you have to resolve with your past. But yeah, Janelle calls Kody a narcissist, starts talking about the cycle of abuse. I did not have that on my bingo card. And I love Janelle's answer when Suki says, "Are you calling Kody a narcissist?" No, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not qualified to diagnose him. I do read a lot about pop culture, and in pop culture, the way that that term is used, there seem to be a lot of similarities. Great answer. Great answer. I'm not qualified to diagnose Kody. I've only seen a reality TV show, which I'm sure is, well, which I know for a fact is very edited. Are the editors doing a good job of editing him to look like a narcissist? Yeah. He does seem to exhibit some of those traits, but I'm not qualified to diagnose him. I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist either. Just pop culture and what I see on the edit. And the way that Janelle is smiling at Suki during this after she just went off on what a narcissist Kody is, she is very proud of herself for calling it out. He's going to hate this. He is going to hate that somebody called him a narcissist. The relationship with Christine and Kody used to be fun, and they had a lot of good times. But by the time Robyn came into the picture, Christine says she was independent. He wasn't taking care of her financially, emotionally. He had checked out already. I didn't realize that they were all at that point when Robyn came in. They had been married for so long, and now Kody needs something else. He's not getting satisfaction from his other relationships. Is that why a wife is being added so far into this marriage? In the first seasons, there was conflict, but they were acting like this very happy family that got along. So yeah, I was a little surprised that Christine said when Robyn came in, they weren't functioning normally and she was independent at that point. Apparently, sex with Kody is apathetic and fulfilling an obligation. That sounds like doing taxes. That is not a compliment. That's not a compliment. That sounds so boring, pathetic, and like fulfilling an obligation. Ugh. I don't think I've ever heard anyone describe sex as apathetic. Are your needs really being met with that? So yeah, something was missing in Christine and Kody's sex life, at least from Christine's perspective. Maybe that is a recency bias. Maybe now that she's getting it good from David, she's thinking it was bad with Kody. It was apathetic. It wasn't as fun. We don't dress up in Star Trek outfits and him fly his spaceship into my portal. I think she's getting her world rocked now and maybe realizing that Kody wasn't not rocking much. But she did say they had sex like 5 times a year, which Kody does have other wives. And we know that the time wasn't split equally. But even assuming it was split equally, that's about 90 days that each of them have a husband during the year. And Christine also has children. And Kody might be tired. So, I mean, out of 92 days a year, if they were splitting it equally 5 times, a little more than once a month. In reality, I wouldn't imagine he was seeing her much more than 5 times a year. Really makes you wonder. Kody saying Christine was a good time experience. I want to know what they asked him for him to say she was a good time experience. Because then he goes on to explain there was no spark there, what she's got with David. That's the romance that she always wanted. But yeah, good job, editors. She was a good time experience. You make it sound like Christine was absolutely saying he's apathetic, he's boring, and cut to Kody. Christine's a good time experience. That was a nice edit. Nicely done. Now, Christine, since her last vintage Volkswagen Beetle was dang near broken, apathetic, a little interesting, but not really. The excitement wore off. She wanted to make sure the next car she was driving was good. She wanted to test drive that Aston Martin Vantage before she bought it and make sure it was purring. She's a big girl. Her and David got it on before they got married. Good for her. Yeah. Test drive it before you buy it, girl. Suki wants to watch a clip. Kody loves PDA. He says that Robyn is shy about it. And then the next thing you see is Christine eating David's face off. She is just going at it. You hear the lip smacking and the microphones. So yeah, they're not shy. They like the PDA. And then there is just a montage of Christine and David making out. Picture after picture, shot after shot of them kissing. Kody is laughing. Janelle is laughing. David and Christine are laughing. And it ends with Peyton. Saying, that's all there is. It was really funny. David just changed Christine. She feels like she can do it all now. You don't have to do it all in front of us. That's okay, but we don't need to see it all. She has all this confidence now. That doesn't mean we need to see you like licking David's face holes, but that's great. That's good for you. I'm glad that you enjoy that. That's really exciting. Yay. But I'm glad that David, he really seems to be a great guy. I like him. He's funny. He's kind of nerdy, quiet. Definitely a good choice. And she feels special. She's never had somebody that had feelings just for her. She had Kody with 2 other wives. So it's good to see her happy. Christine was starved for affection. And David says what she needed, I could give to her. Ooh. Christine's face when he says that, she is so excited. He is laying that woman out. She's getting it good. Kody, also a big supporter of PDA, is just so happy for Christine. He's impressed that she was able to make Peyton embarrassed. He said that that's not in a plural marriage something that she could have had, is that physical affection. And interestingly, now he's with Robyn and she's the shy, quiet wife who doesn't want the PDA. The one that wanted it, he let go. He didn't treat her right. Is Christine a better match for Kody? He wasn't a good match for her. But is Kody going to feel rejected when Robyn doesn't want the PDA? Is he going to be able to just accept that? Like Christine had to accept that she couldn't have the PDA with him. Now Kody has to accept that he can't have the PDA with Robyn. How the tables have turned. Karma. If we didn't see enough of Christine kissing David in those clips, Suki's like, hey, let's pull out the kiss cam, and makes them kiss again. No, Suki, we've had enough this season. Don't do it to us. Yeah, I'm definitely Janelle. The sound effects, the sound of smacking lips during those clips. I picked that one out too. I'm not into that PDA, but to each their own. I'm glad that Christine found David and they're both into it. It just really makes me wonder about Kody and Robyn. Kody really seems to want this and Robyn doesn't want it. She doesn't want to show affection to Kody in front of other people. It doesn't make her feel comfortable. So how's that going to work? Janelle, she's not into the whole lap dance thing, but to me, the lap dance was more funny than like PDA sexual. I thought it was more of a joke, which I would be down for that. That was funny. That wasn't meant to be them trying to make babies in front of everybody, which is what they proceeded to do after the lap dance. It was funny. It was a joke. It wasn't like this real intimate moment. Even when I got married, I always wanted to elope. I felt like that's a very intimate moment that you're having with your spouse. Why would you make it a spectacle? So I always had that weird view about marriage. That's a moment that you and your partner share. That's something between the two of you. Those real serious intimate moments, I feel like that's special. And that's just between you and the person that you love. Other people feel like it's something to be shared with the world, and that's fine. We're all different, totally different opinions on that. But the lap dance, to me, that's just funny. I wouldn't take that as seriously sexy. I don't know. Maybe Christine and David does something for him, but I thought they were just goofing around. Robyn doesn't have a problem with PDA. She just has a different level of it. Basically, she's okay with kissing. She just doesn't want to have sex in front of everybody. She doesn't want a full makeout session. Kody's over here trying to pull her entire outfit off. She's like, dude, we're at the beach. There's people around. We can't do that here. Oh, you're so shy, Robyn. So Kody's an exhibitionist, and Robyn's like, all right, we can kiss and hold hands, but like, get your hand out from under my skirt, Kody. What is he trying to do to her? I mean, I guess we kind of saw when he did that licky thing the other day. Meri seems to have the same limits as Robyn, a little kissing, a little hugging. But when it gets to the point where someone says, get a room, that's too much. I'm probably most like Janelle. She says, I remember Kody kissing Meri and Christine, and he wanted more PDA from me, but it's fine. It didn't bother me that he was kissing Christine and Meri. It's whatever. They're husband and wife. But the PDA is just not for me. Same. I don't mind seeing other people kiss. That's cool. If they start getting it in or something, it's not cool, but I'll definitely watch. I remember years ago, we were riding in a car and my friend Byron was in the back seat. And apparently he's like, look, that girl's getting finger banged over there. And we looked over and he's like, he rolls down the window and screams, y'all motherfuckers need Jesus. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Meri is not comfortable with the Kody Robyn PDA. She's like, don't throw it in my face. Just be you. He is just being him. Might not want what you're asking for, Meri. I don't think that Kody is making out with Robyn in front of you to be a jerk to you about it. I don't think he's thinking about you at all when he's swapping spit with Robyn. He is just being him at that point. Inconsiderate and horny for Robyn. Robyn says part of the problem was the family culture before she entered it. There was no affection, no sweet talk. So part of the problem was how the family was before you got there. Did you think you were going to change everybody? Look, when you're dating somebody or a family, you have to accept them for who they are. If PDA and affection isn't how this family worked and it's something that you wanted, then why enter a family that doesn't work that way? She was just thinking about herself and what would work for her. She wasn't thinking about how this would fit into the family, how the family would function with her in it. So Robyn's kind of admitting that she was a homewrecker. The way that this family worked before she came in was a mutual respect for each other. Christine might have been feeling really lovey-dovey, like she wanted to make out with Kody, but she knew Kody might not be in that same place with Janelle or with Meri. So out of respect for the family, out of respect for Meri and Janelle and where they might be, she didn't go and eat its face off in front of the other wives. That was what was going on. This family had a way of functioning out of respect for each other. And when Robyn got there, she threw that respect out the window. She just wanted to make out with her husband, regardless of how the other relationships were. It might not have been the right family for her. Well, it wasn't about the family. It was about the man. Robyn doesn't want to say who told her that this is how we operate. We can't have PDA. She doesn't want to say that. And Kody doesn't want to talk about some experience that traumatized him, where the last time he showed PDA with Robyn around the family, they got kicked out. He does say, even though he doesn't want to talk about it, that he's not going to show PDA to Robyn in public until Meri and Janelle get married. Meri says she doesn't want to see Kody give an affection to Robyn. That's because she's not over him. If she was over him, she wouldn't care. Apathy is the ultimate, I don't care anymore. So the fact that she still doesn't want to see it means she's not over it. She cares way too much about what that man is doing. And Kody, you're not with Meri anymore. You're not with Janelle anymore. Janelle, she's apathetic. She doesn't care. You could be doing whatever with Robyn. She didn't even care when you were married. Go for it. Don't wait until they get married. They have left you. They've moved on with their lives. Move on with yours. Unless this is just an excuse Robyn's making so she doesn't have to make out with Kody and swap spit because he's wanting to make love to her on the park bench. And she's like, dude, I just wanted to hold hands. But yeah, they got kicked out of a house the last time that they showed affection in front of the family. There were boundaries. The family had rules. They had respect for each other. And Robyn changed that. Robyn didn't care that your other relationships might be in a different place. In fact, when you're at her house, most of the time, she's not sending you home to the wives. She doesn't care about the family. This is the biggest admission that Robyn was the homewrecker. She cared about her needs and Kody's needs, not the needs of the other wives. Very telling. And you can bet if it's in the aspect of PDA, it's in other aspects too. Finances. Flashback. We get to see the moving scene again where Robyn comes over and fake cries. As much makeup as she has on, if there were actual tears, like Suki says there were, we would see her face melting. Unless she's got some tattoos or some like amazing waterproof. I need the makeup tips. If that's the case, not that I wear a lot of makeup, but what makeup can you boo-hoo like that and nothing shows up? There's like no tear stains. There's no mascara runs. Let me know what makeup this is. If anybody's using this, let me know. Suki asked Meri, why was Robyn so upset? Why all the tears? What tears, Suki? There were no tears there. Meri says it's because everything that she wanted when she came into the family was gone. Like that whole other planet in the afterlife with all the wives that you definitely made sure didn't happen when you got that release. Good job. Good job, Meri. Good job, Meri. She's worried about the afterlife. She's worried about heaven and the polygamous family falling apart. That's what it's about. And Suki calls it out. She says, yes, she was worried about the loss of that polygamous dream. That's why she was so sad. She just wasn't faking it very well. Now, Robyn tries to flip the script here and say that, well, I wasn't hearing back from Meri. When she would come in town, I would say, let's hang out. And she wouldn't respond back when she was coming in town. So whenever she would come in town, that's when you would text her. You wouldn't see how she was doing like on a Tuesday, wouldn't call her during the weekend, wouldn't ask her, what are you doing for the holidays? Basically, if you knew she was coming in town, that's when you're like, let's do something. Well, that's why she doesn't want to hang out with you, because you are not keeping in touch with her. And she doesn't know how to be friends with her ex's wife because now she realizes you didn't have a true friendship. You are Kody's wife. That's the relationship we have. You're not even being my friend here, Robyn. You're not calling me and asking me how I'm doing, asking me what plans I've got for Thanksgiving, asking me if I've been dating. Like, you don't care. When I come in town, you just want to go and have brunch somewhere. That's not a friendship. You're not a friend, Robyn. You are literally just Kody's wife. Why would Meri bother? And then Robyn says, I was just giving her her space. You were giving her her space before you gave her her space. The problem here is that everybody was getting way too much space except you and Kody. Everybody. You and Meri, too much space. You guys don't talk anymore. That's what she meant by you were ignoring her. So you just kept doing what you were doing. Gotcha. Whenever Kody tries to explain anything, it makes less and less sense. He's saying that Just Jen is jealous of Robyn and she wants to be Meri's best friend instead of Robyn. Robyn wasn't Meri's friend. Meri moved and Robyn was just like, oh, hey, you're coming in town. How did she know? Probably because Meri texted her that she was coming in town. And then she'd say, let's grab lunch. Robyn wasn't doing anything. She was not her friend. But he's sitting there saying that Just Jen is jealous of Robyn and that Meri does feel safe with Robyn, even though Meri doesn't want anything to do with Robyn. That's wrong. We are misreading it. Meri feels absolutely safe with Robyn. She's just having to say that she can't be around Robyn. her ex, because that's her ex-husband's wife. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Christine and Janelle are buddy-buddy. She doesn't want to be around Robyn because Robyn doesn't make an effort for anybody in the family except for you, Kody. Robyn doesn't care how the other wives feel. Robyn doesn't care what the other wives are doing. She never did. Now, everybody is talking about how Robyn kept leading Meri on. Oh, just keep trying, keep waiting. Don't leave. Don't give up on the family. Robyn was desperate for her own dream. She wasn't desperate for Meri's happiness. That didn't make Robyn a good sister wife, telling her to hang on even though there was no chance. The man wanted nothing to do with you, but she was trying to manipulate the situation. She was trying to make Kody think, oh, this could work out. She was trying to make Meri think, oh, this can work out. And maybe if she pulls this puppet strings just right, boom, they're going to have a love match. No, it's not what happened. Christine finds that weird. She thought it was weird that she was putting words in Kody's mouth. And, well, she didn't say Kody's mouth. We know that she speaks Kody. We see it during the tell-all where she is explaining what Kody just said. But she says that it's weird that she was doing the same thing for Meri, putting words in her mouth. Girl, you're not a puppet master. This is not in sync, no strings attached. Just let them deal with their own marriage. Now, Janelle and Christine, they're about to come for Kody's ego, explaining that over the years, they have both been complaining to each other that he does not give them the luggage rack when they go in. Even on Christine's honeymoon, he took out the luggage rack and used it for his own suitcase. And one of the kind of, oh, this is the one moments for Christine, one of the many with David, was that he gave her the luggage rack and she called Janelle and they were both really excited. Kody and Robyn are listening to them talking. Kody is not happy. He's like, they were complaining about me? Yeah, they were. I guess that's what happens when you have more than one wife. They can complain to each other about how much they don't like you. We also see the clip from this season talking about camping. Janelle and Christine are working hard over this stove, working up a sweat. And Robyn is just sitting over in the corner putting on her makeup. And Kody likes for everybody to look nice. You know, he also likes to eat, but he compliments Robyn for looking nice. I would have taken his food and fed it to a bear and in his tent. They can come find the little snack later. Like, you want to eat, boy? You want to eat, or do you want to be eaten? You want to give her credit for her makeup? You better give me credit for this sausage. You can eat toast or just bread because we're in the woods and there's no toasters and Christine's afraid of toasters anyway. Kody thinks that Christine is envious of what Robyn has. She don't want it, Kody. She had it too. She doesn't want what Robyn has. She left. She's happy with what she has. And then he says them constantly comparing themselves to Robyn, they're just going to be miserable. It's going to spoil the rest of their lives. No, I think they took care of the rest of their lives by getting out of this unhappy relationship. I don't know what world he's living in. I'm not getting Christine being jealous of Robyn vibes at all. She doesn't even like Robyn. And the man can't take accountability for anything. Did you have a luggage rack? He starts talking about a 4-door sedan. No, we're not talking about the luggage rack on a car, that you always get the luggage rack. What, you're putting your suitcase on the roof and letting them have the trunk? I don't think that's the complaint. We're talking about the hotel room, which honestly, I don't care. I will put my suitcase on the bed. I'm gross. Fine. I will put it on a chair. I will put it on the floor and just pick stuff out of it. I don't even look for the luggage rack when I go into a hotel room. Whoever gets there can have it. It's fine by me. But this was important to them. That is something that would make them feel special. Eventually, Kody settles with a maybe for his accountability. Did you get the luggage rack? Maybe. Now, Robyn looks real proud of herself. She gets the luggage rack when she's with Kody. How? Maybe she gets there faster, but she looks so proud of herself that she's getting this luggage rack. Good for you, Robyn. Good for you with the luggage rack. I hope it's everything you ever dreamed of. I hope it makes you happy for the rest of your life. What a great luggage rack. Wow. so special. It's amazing. I would just beam with pride over that you got it and it wasn't an issue for you. Just like Kody not being around wasn't an issue for you. Why do these women have a problem? They just need to accept what they get. Because it's not an issue for you. You don't care. Meri, she doesn't want to take sides. She's not going to complain. I think Meri probably got the luggage rack the way that she's talking. She just doesn't want to say it. But then she finds it strange that Christine would even talk to her fiance or husband, whatever David was at the point, about her ex. I find it strange that you wouldn't. Like, this was obviously a big part of Christine's life, the majority of her life. She has children with her ex, so they're always going to have a family. And she's expressing she didn't know things could be as good as they are. She is just pleased as punch with David. So why would you care? David seems like a very empathetic person. Knowing her past lets him know about what she wanted that she didn't have last time. I don't see what the problem is. I don't know why Meri thinks this is strange. And when you have a spouse, you share things with them. I could tell my husband anything. I guess they didn't feel that way with Kody. Well, we know they didn't feel that way with Kody. He would shut them down in conversations. So I don't know. Maybe I just have boundary issues. I don't think there's anything off limits. Talk to my husband about anything. This episode ends with Suki telling Christine Robyn gets the luggage rack. Christine, she doesn't look mad. She actually looks like she's laughing a little bit. So that would be interesting. Hopefully they don't just set it up like they did last time and leave us hanging. We had that huge stare off last time and then we came back into it and nothing about the stare off. We don't know how it ended. We don't know if Kody won and Suki blinked first. I would like to have seen the ending of that. I'll be back next week for Sisterwives One-on-One Part 4. Tomorrow will be 90-Day Hunt for Love. And Saturday will be our Saturday True Crime segment. So thank you for listening, Channel Surfers. Please like and subscribe and make sure you're listening to our episode. Share with friends. Get the word out about remote reality. Let them know we're here. We're here. But I was late getting started on this episode because life came up, work came up, and I've got some editing to do so I can get this out to you guys as soon as possible. So wish me luck on the speed editing. Hopefully it's not too cray-cray. Love y'all. Thanks for listening. Bye.